Right, thank you, gentlemen. Can we have the bell, please?
Good morning, school. Please remain standing for the message and the prayer. This morning's reading is a poem by a DHS Old Boy. Look around, brothers, feel the ground. This sacred turf, this battleground. Tomorrow is not just any game. Tomorrow we rise to earn our name. We carry weight they'll never see. Our past, our pride, our legacy. Now each pass we make, each hit we give, reminds the world we play to live. Not for glory, not for fame, but for the honor in our name. This badge we wear, it's not just thread, it's every warrior who once bled. It's every dawn we rose through pain to earn the right to play this game. So when the whistle splits the sky, we won't flinch, we won't ask why. And when it ends, no matter the score, they'll know we gave our blood and more. For DHS, for brotherhood, for all those who stood where we now stand. Lift your eyes, the hour calls. Go leave your soul upon these walls. As I conclude, I'd like to leave you with these words. May each and every one of them ever remember that as he is, so is his school. Here ends this morning's reading.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of bringing us together today. Thank you for the miles traveled, the bonds that distance cannot break, and the memories we carry in our hearts. We ask that you bless this gathering and weekend. Fill our time together with laughter, understanding, and love. Where there's hurt, bring healing. Where there's distance, bring us closer. And where there's joy, let us celebrate. We also remember those who could not be with us today and those who have gone before us. Keep them in your loving care. Bless our conversations, bless the sports we are going to play, and bless the moments we create today. May this reunion and 160th Founders Day remind us of the beauty of connection and the strength of history. We ask this in your name. Amen. Now please bow our heads for the school prayer. O Lord, our Heavenly Father, Almighty and everlasting God, who has safely brought us to the beginning of this day, defend us in the same with thy mighty power, and grant that this day we fall into no sin, neither run into any kind of danger, and that all our doings may be ordered by thy governance, to do that which is righteous in thy sight. Amen.
Please be seated. While I was standing outside, I was trying to work out roughly how many people were inside the hall presently. If you include the staff, obviously the people in the gallery and all the boys here, I would hazard about 1,400 at the moment. And that's really a wonderful, to be able to house 1,400 people inside our hall. We were struggling before with 1,150 boys, and we had boys standing outside, so really a wonderful occasion. Firstly, let me welcome people, so welcome to everybody, but especially for our Department of Education officials. We're really grateful for you being here, incredibly supportive, Ms. Shamasi and Mr. Shangase. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Old Boys, and I see some of the ladies there as well, so welcome to the wives as well. Welcome to the boys, and also those that are watching, because this assembly is being live streamed at the moment. We're going to start off with two music pieces by our musicians. Are they ready?
Yeah, we are now. Entertain us. I've stupid. It's contagious. Here we are now. Entertain us. Finding myself in a land of diversity, all around I see so many cultures, so many languages, our symphony. Every face, it has a story to tell. Every heart a song that we must tell. Underneath the stars, underneath the moon, underneath the sky, we will find our light. Underneath the stars, underneath the moon, underneath the sky, we will find our light. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da, African biryani. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da, African biryani. Finding myself in this land of diversity, there's you and me. In our difference is our unity. When will we see? Every voice, it has a story to tell. Every heart a song that we must tell. Underneath the stars, underneath the moon, underneath the sky, we will find our light. Underneath the stars, underneath the moon, underneath the sky, we will find our light. Ba-da-do, ba-da-do, African biryani. Ba-da-do, ba-da-do, African biryani. Africa, ba-da-do, African biryani. Barade, African biryani. Barado, barade, African biryani. Barado, barade, African biryani. Barado, barade, African biryani. Barado, barade, African biryani. Badado, badade, 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 African biryani. Badado.
Thanks to Dr. Rungan and some of the musicians. I think those two numbers alone reflect the excellence of our music program. So today is a celebration. It's a celebration of 160 years of excellence. That is how old the school turns, and really wonderful to have this occasion. It's also the unofficial, because we're still going to have the official opening, but it's the unofficial opening of the new hall. And so there are a number of firsts. So we're obviously testing the sound system, because it is a brand new sound system. We're also testing the integrity of the structural mezzanine there. And we've got some department officials underneath you, so we could wipe out half the Department of Education there and then. But that's why we placed Carrie, who was the builder, also up there. But I can assure you that we've had the engineer sign off, so he should all be fine. Often when we have special marketing evenings, I talk about the fact that we're 160 years old, and that's amazing. But when you reflect it against, and I always tell the parents, prospective parents, when you reflect it against how old some of the top brands in the world are, like Coca-Cola, Mercedes, and various banks and so on, they're nowhere near as old as Durban High School. And even towns and cities, in fact, Johannesburg is not as old as Durban High School. And so there is no doubt about it that there is something special about the school. And obviously that's what we are here to celebrate. And Founders is always a special occasion. And it's also important for the boys, not only the old boys, it's important for the boys to understand, okay, the concept of brotherhood and what it's about. And this gives them an inkling about it. I do need to do some thanks first, and I know that I'm also under time constraints because Shedders also wants to get up here, but it would be inappropriate if I wasn't thanking certain people. First and foremost, I want to thank the boys. I know they have a little surprise, but there really has been a lot of construction that has gone on in the school for the last 2-3 years. And they have been affected because they have to work around things, walk around things, and obviously be careful the areas they go and so on. And despite that, you chaps have really been wonderful in the way that you've conducted yourself, and in the way that you just got on with it. All right? You haven't allowed it to hassle you, and you still remained committed and so on. So well done to you chaps. Thanks to the staff, also working around the noise, the vibrations as jackhammers and everything has gone on. And I'm not only talking obviously about the hall, all right, but obviously even the other constructions that have taken place on our school. But I also thank the staff for all the work that gets done behind the scenes that people don't appreciate. All the little things, when you add them together, make a world of difference. And then what you see is excellence, all right? And that comes from everyone playing their part to it. I thank the foundation, and obviously Andrew Shedlock, as well as Neil Lamble and the other trustees for their incredible support and the fact that they're obviously getting the message out to Old Boys and getting the Old Boys involved with the school and so on. I do thank Ndlovu Construction and Carrie Mockridge. And there's a reason before. I know Carrie is an Old Boy himself, all right, but first and foremost, Carrie has a high threshold of accepting verbal abuse. He's always continuously under pressure, and so he had 3 months to get all this done. And people don't understand how much work needed to be done in here. And here we are. In fact, this morning, those old boys who arrived a little bit early, you'll notice that there were still people here with ladders and so on. So we're not 100% finished. We're about 98% finished. But to have done it in 3 months is really exceptional. The old boys who walked in, you would have seen that building on the right, the REM building. It had been indicated that it should be done in 9 months. I told Carrie, not a chance. You need to do it in 6 months. Everyone said it was impossible. Carrie got it done in 6 months. So maybe if government want to get roads and bridges built a lot quicker, they can engage with the Norbu construction. And I'm sure I'll get something back for that advert I've just done there, Carrie. But the most important person to thank today is not here. He is a private person. He doesn't like the limelight, but it is Chris Seabrooke. He's made this hall possible, and certainly without him, this wouldn't have been possible. It's not only the hall. I think we're all well aware that there are a number of other projects that he has been the main donor for, and certainly we laud Chris. Now, something that I was thinking about over the past week, I am so fortunate to be a headmaster at a time that Chris is also around. We certainly would not have been able to do even half of what we have achieved here without his incredible support. And I did get an email this morning from Jeremy Oddy, and I'm not going to read the full email, I'll just read 2 lines, but the last line was just in general saying, God bless all those that did, do, and will enter our magnificent school. But one of the lines earlier on, and obviously talking about projects, and he indicated here, and the most important person, the sponsor who believes in the dream. And there's no doubt about it. Chris, in terms of today's function, is the most important person, and we're incredibly grateful for his support. Yes, we do have a vision. It's an amazing vision. But without that kind of support, we certainly wouldn't be able to fulfill our vision. Chris does encourage other old boys to get involved as well. So I don't know if Shedders will touch on that, but he has asked that old boys get off the fringes and get involved and invest in the school in various forms and so on. I know there are some that do, but he certainly would appreciate others being involved. And I'll finish off with a quote in terms of Chris, and with a quote from Gilbert Chesterton. A really great person is the person who makes every person feel great. And I think with us sitting here, I think we feel great in terms of when we look around, we're surrounded by excellence, and that's Chris making us feel great. So as I said, today is not the official opening, and that will take place in due course. But it's a day of and a weekend of celebration. But we must also remember those that have left us, and there are some notable people that aren't with us today. So firstly, someone who retired after 39 years at DHS was Marlene Watermeyer. So she left at the end of term 1, and so a lot of old boys will remember her. Then sadly, we had Dr. Dudley Ford pass away at the end of last year, and apart from being a past headmaster, he was also an incredible supporter of the school and would often be here doing Saturdays and functions and so on. And then a few weeks ago, we lost Dr. Nico Lamprecht, past master, as well as obviously a legend amongst the old boys. So obviously we remember them. As old boys, you will be going on, some of you will be going on tours, and obviously you'll be getting reacquainted and so on. It's important that, and boys sitting here are incredibly proud of the old boys. And you need to understand that, they're well aware what the occasion is about, and they work hard to make you proud of them. And you obviously don't see that because, you're outside, but it's not just the week leading up, it's in everything they do. And And we want the old boys to feel proud of our boys. They want you to feel proud of them. But I also want you to feel proud, as old boys, to feel proud of our boys. And you have every reason to feel proud of them. And you will see it and you will experience it when you go around. I am going to do something that has become a bit of a tradition so that we can just have a sense of things that you can be proud of. You know, end of each year, we have a awards assembly for sports and culture. And that's obviously all the achievers up to the end of the year. And we recognized 264 boys who had provincial representation in a whole variety of codes. And that's about a quarter of the school. That's absolutely amazing. I challenge any other school to have that kind of representation. And in that, there were over 40 boys who had SA representation. Obviously, we're only in May, but I'm going to call out boys and I'm going to ask them to stand on the steps. The boys who've been here before, they will know better. And these are just the boys who've achieved so far up to now. And so as I call them up, if they can come forward, please. So we had 3 of our cricketers who represented Cricket South Africa at the Cubs Week. Joshua van Biljon, Bonga Mapanga. Samalpala is an old boy, so he's not with us. But if those 2 can come up, with Joshua being chosen as the batter of the tournament. And Joshua is waiting to see if he gets chosen for the SA Under-19 cricket side. I know he's in the running. Then Dolphins Young Guns cricket squad. Bayana Majola, who cricketed last year. Josh van Biljon, Ismail Omar, Cameron Naraidu, Bonga Mapanga. If those chaps are here, unless they're away playing cricket at the moment, if they can come forward, please. There we go. Then Cole Martin, who represented, who was at the Junior Africa Champs for swimming, as well as the SA Senior National Champs. Adam Turan, SA Senior National Champs. And then also Irish Senior National Champs. Turan, a good Irish name. Then KZN Swimming, Damien de Wit, Noah Churchman, Tristan Janssen van Rensburg. Then Ryan Viviers. I don't know if Ryan is here, but Ryan is not only provincial, he's not only national, but he is the world under-17 biathlon champion. So that's really outstanding. We've got Sean Kai Naidu, who participated at the SA Youth Nationals for sailing. Joshua Beattie, gold medal in the SA Nationals indoor rowing. Braden Richard, KZN Open Water Rowing Team. Russell Mungu, KZN Polo, but I got informed today that both Russell Mungu and then 2 others, Connor Donaldson and Michael Spooner, and I got that email this morning that they are at the moment in a bigger KZN camp where they will obviously trim it down, with Connor Donaldson also going to the SA Under-20 camp as well. Dane Fort, SA at the Africa Games, representing South Africa at the Africa Games for arm wrestling. Ethan Pillay, cast member of Mara Stella Play, and there are others as well, and I haven't got their names, but if I know that there are a number of major productions at some other schools where we have star actors there. If they can also come forward, please, you know who you are. Durban Youth Council, you know, in terms of being involved with the municipality. So we've got a number of boys, if they can also come forward. And Sebo Madikizela, Renslin Manzi, Christian Pillay, Nzuzo Buthelezi, Mpelenhle Sitole, Vikazweni Ntuli, and then chosen as Deputy Mayor in the Durban Youth Council, Noah Paulson. We had Joel Lewitz receiving the Gold Standard for the President's Award. David John White, Gold Medal for for judo in the 90 kilogram division at the SA Champs. Clayton Robertson, first place, 2026 Interclub Fishing Competition, and he's also a top surfer as well, involved with the provincial structures. Lincoln Wilson, SA Under 19 badminton team. Jasvia Naidu and Brandon Matthews, KZN Athletics. Christopher Denason won 2 gold medals at the SA Under 19 Surf Life-Saving Champs. Evan State, KZN Under 21 Men's Touch Rugby Team. Devon Kramer, 4th at the KZN Under 15 Squash Champs, and then 3rd at the KZN Under 15 Trials, and he's therefore been chosen for the KZN team for the Interprovincial Tournament coming up. Ashton Williams and Ravon Pillay, Vega Esports Champs, top 10. Caden Dina, Lincoln Wilson, and Sameshan Kiston participating in the SA Institute for Civil Engineers Equilibrium Competition, coming in 3rd place. Kriyan Vadavalu, first place at the SA Kids Golf Tournament. Zamir Patel competed at the SA Champs in handgun optics shoot, so I don't really argue with them. We had just last week 2 of our boys received Cambridge Awards for being the top performers in their subjects in South Africa in terms of the Cambridge exams. Mika Bellum, who's matriculated last year, and then Eben Peters, who's with us. Another chap I don't argue with, Ravon Pillay, first Dan Black Belt Karate. We are also the KZN W100 Cricket Champs. I also got, I know we got Joshua up here, I received another recognition for Joshua Beatty. He's now been chosen for the SA team to participate at the Mongolian International Mathematics Competition. Then, I'm not going to call them out by name because we really have far too many. So in the rugby and hockey, and I'll start off with the rugby first, so we've had 43 of our boys. This is a new record. Now hazard to guess that not only for Durban High School, but probably for the province, for any school, 43 boys over 4 age groups who've been chosen for the Sharks junior teams. So if I can ask all 43, because otherwise this semi will be far longer, if they can come up, please. And then while they're coming up, we have 36 boys who've been chosen for the KZN hockey teams over 3 age groups. And this ties our previous record that I think we set in, I can't remember if it was 23 or 2024, but if they can also come up. Well done, boys. As I'd said earlier, as proud as our boys are of the Old Boys, you can see you have good reason to also be proud of our boys. And then finishing off, so you'll be going on a tour, a lot of you, and you will experience some of the things that we have on offer. And generally when we do our marketing, as I said earlier on, we talk about 4 aspects that are important to us. And I believe that you will experience it. Firstly, it's our value system, and you will see it, same as it was during your time at school, and there's so many year groups and generations up there. But that's the one thing that you will still continue to see. The greeting of the boys, the behavior of the boys, the pride of the boys, but in the correct sense and so on. And all the aspects that goes in terms of our values, the respect and so on. So you will experience that. You'll experience the excellence. And I think we just saw some of it here, in terms of our musicians, in terms of those achievers, what happens in the classroom and so on. And it's something that gets driven by everybody, not just myself or 1 or 2 others. It gets driven by all our staff, and it gets driven by our ground staff and our cleaning staff and so on. They drive this excellence. You'll experience the various educational pathways that are incredibly unique to Durban High School. They reckon that generally between 30 and 35% of boys are engaged at school because there's only one system. In our school, we were talking about 5 systems, and I realized that we'd forgotten about our normal mainstream. So we have 6 systems in our school. So there's a place for every boy in our school. And then you will see that we have programs that future-proof our boys through our electives program and so on. So you will see a school redefining education, I can assure you. And so ask questions of the boys that take you around on tours. And to finish off, good to great is a limit. The vision that we have moves us beyond great. Mr. Shidlock, are you ready? Oh, there we go.
Good morning, Mr. Pinero, the staff and boys of Durban High School, and most of all, our old boys gathered here this morning. I was informed by Colin Woodcock, they're having their 50th reunion this year, 1976, that the first assembly held in what we knew as, I'll probably call it the Old Hall now, took place in 1976. Their final assembly took place in 1976. And here they are, back here 50 years later, and having the first assembly, and although Mr. Pinero said not the first official opening, but the first assembly in the new hall 50 years later. So that's actually quite remarkable. If I may, I might probably jump the gun. We heard the name quite often today was Josh van Bouillon. I believe he is not here this morning because he's gone to the UK Embassy to get his visa, which probably means that he has been selected for the SA Under-19 side, which is great news. And then finally, Mr. Pinero made quite a lot of mention about Kerry Mockridge. Kerry is also building a lock and go room here at DHS. So he can obviously be on site permanently because he's been here for about the last 3 years. And also there's been some exciting news is that we're going to do some developments of the swimming pool in the next 2 weeks, obviously, which Ndlovu will be doing, and that's coming through the kind generation of a parent of DHS. So Kerry has decided that he's going to build himself a little 1-bedroom unit here at DHS and have a lock up and go. As Mr. Pinero said, this is a particularly significant year for all of us as we celebrate 160 years at DHS. It's a year to reflect with pride on our history, traditions, and enduring brotherhood that makes DHS so special. This year also marks another important milestone. It was 80 years since the formation of the Durban High School and Old Boys Memorial Trust, which was established on the 20th of June, 1946. In addition, we celebrate 125 years since the first meeting of the DHS Old Boys Club, which was held on the 29th of April 1901 at the Princess Cafe in Field Street. Interestingly, at that very first meeting, and many old boys have asked me about this, the motto Speo Freitas, which means relying on hope, was suggested, although it was never formally adopted until a few years ago. So you'll obviously notice on the Old Boys badge Speyer Freitas, and then don't get confused by the DO Freitas, which is on the school badge. Shortly thereafter, on the 10th of May 1901, the club colours were officially adopted. Oxford blue edged with old gold, colours that remain so meaningful to us today. But of course, in those early years, the club had no permanent home. But there was a strong desire for the Old Boys to gather socially and maintain the friendship forged at school. After the Second World War, that dream was reignited, and with renewed determination in 1947, the then President, Mr. E.A. Gillett, famously declared at the time had come for more action, less words. With the support of some committed Old Boys, the vision finally began to take real shape. In 1946, the chairman of the Old Boys Club and the headmaster each contributed £500 to establish what? The Durban High School and Old Boys Memorial Trust. The founding trustees included Headmaster Colonel Betsy Martin, staff representatives Bill Payne, Old Boys Club Chairman Leo Grice, and elected members from the club. The trust was created not simply as a war memorial, but as a perpetual force for continued growth of development of DHS and the Old Boys community. In 1947, Colonel Martin himself had a vision for the school, a wish that included a memorial swimming bath, as it was referred to in those days, and a memorial library. Unfortunately, the memorial library is no longer, but the swimming pool is still with us. The Old Boys' vision was to build a clubhouse. 20 acres of land was purchased in Durban North. The foundation stone was laid on the 6th of October 1954, and the club officially opened in February 1955. Sadly, the club was sold just over a decade ago, and with the sale of the DHS Old Boys Club, the Durban High School Old Boys Memorial Trust, together with all the other small trusts and associations, were unified to what we now know as the DHS Foundation Trust. Nearly 80 years later, DHS remains the beneficiary of that foresight, generosity, and enduring brotherhood. The responsibility now rests with us to honour that legacy and to assure that the trust continues to serve future generations of DHS boys and Old Boys alike. As I mentioned, Colonel Martin's vision was a memorial swimming bath and a swimming pool and a library. Mr. Pinero's vision was to build a whole new school. Mr. Pinero, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you personally for all that you've achieved since the beginning of your headmastership at DHS. To your dedicated management team and staff, thank you. And I'm sure I speak on behalf of every Old Boy when I say that we are extremely grateful for your commitment, leadership, and continued dedication to DHS. So much of what DHS has achieved in recent years has been made possible through the extraordinary support of the DHS Foundation Trust and our Old Boys. His name was mentioned earlier, but I'd also like to make a special mention, must go to Chris Seabrooke, whose tremendous generosity, leadership, and unwavering commitment to DHS has made an exceptional impact on our school. Chris, thank you for your remarkable support. I would also like to acknowledge and thank all our past chairmen of the trust, past and present trustees, a few of them are with us today, whose vision and dedication has ensured that this institution continues to grow from strength to strength. And finally, to our Old Boys, thank you. A number of major projects have been undertaken by the school in recent years, simply would not have been made possible without your support. Most recently, the refurbishment of the 2 new boarding houses stands as another example of what can be achieved when DHS brotherhood comes together behind a shared vision. DHS's heritage is incredibly special. 160 years of history, tradition, excellence, and brotherhood. But heritage is not something we simply inherit. It's something we are entrusted to protect, strengthen, and pass on. So I encourage all of you, please continue to support the school. whether through your time, your expertise, your mentorship, or your generosity. Every contribution helps ensure DHS remains a place where future generations of boys can thrive and where the Old Boys legacy continues to flourish. Thank you. Right, now on to our main man. Primary school at Howick Government School from Standard 1 to Standard 5. He came to Durban High School, of what in those days we know as Standard 6 to Matric, Form 2 to 5th Form, as we know Grade 8 to Grade 12, from 1943 to 1947, and is a proud member of Blackmore House. After 1 year at university in 1948, he joined Edel's Footwear Factory, beginning what would become an extraordinary career in the footwear industry spanning almost 70 years. I want to put this into perspective, the remarkable period of history Basil has witnessed during his lifetime. World War II, the formation of the DHS and Old Boys Memorial Trust, the school's centenary celebration, the 125th anniversary, the 150th anniversary, and now the 160th celebration of Durban High School. And Basil's aim is to make assembly next year, where he'll be celebrating his 80th reunion. Basil, one wonders to begin, were you ever perhaps at the first meeting of the DHS Old Boys Club at Princess Cafe? It gives me great pleasure to welcome Mr. Basil Matzopoulos.
Good day, everyone. Yes, it's the ancient Greek fossil from Howick is back again. Delighted to have the honor and privilege of celebrating with you the 160th anniversary of this great school. It's a school that has produced so many outstanding men who've earned worldwide recognition in many fields. It also enables me to congratulate the DHS Foundation for this fantastic new DC Thompson Hall. This is yet another example of the wonderful drive and ambition to steadily improve the facilities and amenities for the staff and pupils to enjoy. I'm also here again for another free lunch. I'm not only a guest speaker of the foundation, but an annual recurring expense. This is one of the perks of being 95. How did I manage to achieve this dubious honor? Well, it's largely because of my dog's body. Where are you, Rich? Richard Denny, here on my left. Many years ago, I was the chairman of a small complex in Cape Town when Richard moved in, and I smelled trouble, incorrectly as it happened. One day I drove into the complex and parked. And without hesitation, this young man hurried around, helped my wife out of the car and into our home. I was impressed. I said, "You obviously went to a very good school." "Yes," he said, "DHS." "Well," I said, "so did I." He dashed into his apartment and returned with a photo of himself as a prefect in 1987. I congratulated him. "Remarkable," I said. "That was the year I attended our matric class's 40th reunion." Despite the huge age difference, we've remained close friends ever since, and in my advancing years since, he has been tremendously helpful, particularly if I fall down. He picks me up and revives me with a glass of red wine. At my age, I might fall at any minute, so just stay alert, Rich. Oh, you're here? Okay. After living many years in in England and then moving to Port Elizabeth, I had lost contact with DHS. Richard rectified this by taking me to a meeting attended by a few old boys, and it was here that I met Andrew Shadlock, the remarkably brilliant CEO of the DHS Foundation. Shedders has many gifts, not least a practiced eye for cannon fodder. Before I knew it, he conned me into addressing the full assembly in 2024, the Blackmore's lunch in 2025, and here I am again in 2026, standing in front of you with knees wobbling in utter trepidation. Barry Wilson had relocated to Cape Town, and we met at an Old Boys meeting. He had me elected as an honorary life member of the Cape Town Old Boys Committee. When I tried to resign because I felt that I was not contributing, he said, "You're an honorary life member, and the only way you will leave this committee is in a box." An option that I'm seriously considering. So I attend meetings, sit there sucking my gums, trying to look intelligent and pretending to understand what is going on. Barry, with his remarkable drive, has built the DHS Cape Town Old Boys Committee very dramatically. He runs the meetings with the precision of a well-drilled, verbose schoolmaster or military commander. He's totally committed to the further expansion of the Cape Town branch, and to his credit, strives constantly to find ways to do this. Meanwhile, in my dotage, I've discovered that the secret to longevity is just to keep moving, even if it's only from the couch to the booze cupboard. It has worked so well that I appear to have outlived both my warranty and most of my original spare parts. I no longer need an alarm. Even with no snooze button, my bladder wakes me at 6 a.m. every day, without fail. I've reached the age where my back goes out more often than I do. And now, when I bend down to tie my shoelaces, I check if there's anything else I can do while I'm down there. But let me be clear, I'm not old, just chronologically very gifted. Thank you to the Foundation, and especially to Shedders, for flying me to Durban once again. It really is an honor to be here, even if, as I strongly suspect, speaking to you is, again, payment for my lunch. I bring warm greetings from Cape Town Old Boys, who congratulate the Foundation and the school for extraordinary developments that have established DHS as one of South Africa's great schools. The continued development of the campus since my last visit is quite amazing. The facilities are quite extraordinary, to say the least. The acquisition of 2 additional houses to extend the boarding facilities is another example of the continued drive towards becoming South Africa's finest school. When I was here, we were fortunate just to have a house, never mind 2. Last year, I shared some stories about school life, and today I thought I might risk 1 or 2 more. The headmaster in my matric year was Colonel A.C. Martin, also known as Betsy, who taught history to 6A. He was the founder of the Federal Party in Natal, which explains his distant and aloof manner. I was not one of his favorites, as I had no interest in history. I was a threat to his chosen Dux candidate, and I refused to buy his printed notes, preferring to support the tuck shop. He caned me enthusiastically for even minor offences, and confidently predicted that I would be lucky to get a D for history in matric. The syllabus focused heavily on Bismarck and Garibaldi, so on the night before the exam, I did what any desperate little Greek boy would do. I flipped a coin. Bingo, Bismarck won. What's happened here? I thought I missed that out. His wife, it's about And then there was Arthur Goldberg, Arthur Goldwater. No prizes for guessing what his nickname was. He taught us using mnemonics, and such as strawberry raspberry jam, eat it as fast as you can. I think it was to teach us gerundics, whatever they are. I thought they were associated with mental illness of some sort. His wife also taught at the school. She was adored by everyone. We all called her Mississippi rather than the obvious reference to her husband's nickname. We felt that this showed some remarkable restraint and maturity. At this point in my school career, I began to realize something very important. It wasn't that the teachers had a problem with me. It was that I was consistently surrounded by unreasonable expectations. I was doing my best to avoid history, misunderstand Latin, and survive regular beatings. Somehow I was a disappointment. I think I was ahead of my time in what they called holistic education. I've previously mentioned Charles Shields, Chaz, who believed discipline was best delivered at high temperature. On one of his patrols, he discovered a message in Zulu threatening to deal with him rather painfully for his enthusiasm with his malacca cane. The result of this action would be an instant transformation from baritone to soprano. He was furious and brought in a handwriting expert to test us, but the culprit was never found. Of course, we all knew who it was, the only boarder who spoke Zulu fluently. But nobody dropped him. We Blackmores always stood together, especially when guilty. We shouted, I've lost it. I'm very proud to have been, I'm sorry, I've lost my place here. I was fortunate to be at I was unfortunate to be at DHS at the time of, during the 1947, during the time of apartheid, which was enforced by law. And I've lost it. I'm sorry. I was saying about the apartheid era when it was enforced by law. But we at DHS looked at it in a different light, and we decided that we would handle it in our own way, and that was when the Zulu war cry was originated. It went singo, singo, singo bani na, yiti, yiti, anebona na, etc. And we shouted it with enthusiasm at all of our rugby matches. Little knowing what we were actually saying, but with great commitment. DHS has always been known for producing excellent cricketers, and I was fortunate to be here at the time of three of them. John Philo Smith, a batter who matured only after leaving school, Trevor Goddard, who was a formidable all-rounder, and Hugh Tayfield, the undoubted star, who holds the unbelievable world record of bowling 137 consecutive dot balls, a record that I'm sure will never be surpassed. I remember a teacher, Bill Douglas, coaching Huey for hours on end, bowling at a half sheet of newspaper pinned to the ground. He could hit it about 8 times out of 10, a clear sign of greatness to come. That same era gave us another unforgettable character, Rolf, a really adorable and fiercely loyal DHS supporter. He patrolled the touchline, waving his banner vigorously, screaming, "School, school," encouraging his beloved team with unmatched passion. He was loved by everyone and was probably the most committed supporter the school has ever had. And then there was France, our waiter, instantly recognizable by a pale patch on his cheek. He had the extraordinary ability to carry what seemed like half the kitchen on his arms, delivering meals, or more importantly, seconds to the hungry schoolboys with remarkable efficiency. He was obviously the most popular man in the school. Now, before I finish, I must tell you, people often ask me what is the real secret to reaching the age of 95. They expect something profound like good habits, clean living, early nights, etc., etc. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. At my age, you don't avoid temptation, you avoid mirrors, you avoid stares, you avoid long-term commitments. But more importantly, you make sure that you keep getting invited back to lunch. In closing, it's an extraordinary privilege at my age to stand here once again as we celebrate 160 years of this remarkable institution. Schools are not just buildings, they are people, they are stories, they are friendships, they are memories that stay with you perhaps for a very long life. And if there's one thing these 95 years have taught me, it is this. A great school does not simply prepare you for exams. It prepares you for life, it prepares you for stories worth telling, it gives you lifetime friendships, it gives you memories that make life rich and wonderful and worth returning for. And if you're very, very lucky, you might even find yourself standing here at the age of 95, having been invited back for a free lunch. If that does happen, take my advice and get your booking in early, because clearly I'm not going anywhere. Bless you. Bless you and thank you all. Go to school. Sorry, I made a bugger. Got my stick, Rich? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Baz. I think you earned your lunch, and I sincerely hope, and I say this from the bottom of my heart, that we see you here next year for your 80th reunion. I'm going to now call up Peter Ingoldo, first 15 coach, and what has become a tradition on Founders Day is that we bring up the first 15, and each player gets presented with a cap that we introduced last year. And after the first 15 is announced, I'll call up Keegan Heslett to announce the first team hockey.
Good morning, everyone, especially to the Old Boys. Thank you for joining us. To the headmaster and staff, thank you. It gives me great honor to announce the first team for tomorrow versus Westville. Just some inside information. We have 11 matric boys who are representing the school tomorrow. Starting with Loosehead, Liko Konza. If I call your name, can you just come up, please, and just walk along the steps and collect your cap. Thank you. Okuhle Babanjwa, Booker. Ataite Pride and Sabaya. At number 4, he likes to be known as Bucky's, Sipango. At 5, Jose Lottering. At 6, Damien Swat. At 7, Zion Smith returning to the team and retakes the captaincy for DHS for tomorrow. And at number 8, Obakwe Moeng, who was the standing captain and a grade 11 pupil at DHS. At 9, Ivan Slubbert. At 10, Guillermo Carolus. At 11, Richard Giamfi. At 12, Nathan Aniki. At 13, Sterling Paddy. At 14, Amu Mataboche. And 15, Tanwil Onkers. That's DHS first rugby team for tomorrow. Thank you.
Good morning to the school, the staff, and the Old Boys. I'd just like to say good luck to all the hockey teams that are playing. It starts this afternoon and into tomorrow. Let's give Westball a good clap. Starting with the first 11 for tomorrow, we got Bonga Dlomo. If you boys can just come up as I read your name out. Uyantanda Ngajane, Eben Peters, Josh Van Bullion, who isn't here, Lungani Ngobo, Alshon Liba, Shlompo Morake, Chris Abrams, Jesse van Wyk, Bonga Mapanga, Jaden Bramwell, Sunny Mazibuko, Matt Potkita, Olo Intlali, Ovayo Intlokwana, and Keegan Bronze.
Sorry, I'm not finished. Now, just a few people I'd like to thank. Firstly, Liesel Besson, who is not with us at the moment. She's busy at the golf day at Royal Durban. Many of you would have obviously had communication or correspondence from Liesel over the last couple of years. She does a sterling job assisting me in the office. So I just want to take this opportunity of thanking her very much for all that she does for me and for the foundation. Barry Koski is also not here. He's lucky, he's playing golf. But also to him to say thank you very much for all the hard work he's put in leading up to today. And then finally, if he's not asking me for money, he's asking me for whiskey or whatever. But for those of you who walked in today and you saw the grounds and saw how they were looking, someone commented on the other day about the amount of sports teams that DHS now put out. Nathan, I can see you there. Nathan Pillay, put your hand up because you put your hand up. There he is. Nathan, just to say thank you to you for all that you do at this school. We really appreciate it. It works. When you want something done, you phone Nathan. And as I said, if you walked into the school today, Nathan and his team have been hard at work making sure that the school looks as impressive as it does. So to you, Nathan, and your team, please pass on the thanks. To thank you, everyone. Before we finish, there will be a school tour. A tea and coffee will be served for the Old Boys. We've still got one or two formalities. A tea and coffee served in the Seabrooke foyer behind the hall at 12 o'clock. We're probably pushing it, maybe 12, quarter past 12. Whoever wants to go on a school tour can meet Lauren at the Dome. You all met Lauren. She brought you into the mezzanine floor and then she kicked you out again. That's Lauren. Where is she? Lauren will be in charge of the school tour. So I would say quarter past 12, meet Lauren underneath the Dome. And it is a moment where I'm going to ask the staff if they leave, because we are going to show a short video that was the final. One of you know, you followed your correspondence. Tom Champion was a fifth generation of a champion at DHS. Came and spent a term at DHS from Sydney. And his last assembly, Mr. Panera asked him to say a few words. And I think this young man's speech is very appropriate. And for me, it actually sums up what you see here today. The boys of DHS, the caliber of the young man that you see at DHS today. And Tom, as a 17-year-old boy, sums it all up. So I hope you enjoy the video. The audio was taken with assembly outside, so the audio is a bit hazy, but for those who can read, those who weren't in O stream or the H class, there are captions at the bottom that you can read. Okay, so please enjoy it. I will ask the staff to slowly move off, and the boys, if you can just move aside. And how do you get this thing off? You said you got it some wire. Pick it up. I'm just going to put it behind the screen.
Those of you that don't know me, my name is Thomas Champion, a fifth generation Durban High School boy from Sydney, Australia, and proudly part of Blackmore House. Now, coming from Australia, I've got understood rugby, but DHS rugby is a different level entirely. It's not just a sport here, it's a way of life. The early mornings, tough sessions, and coaches are an enemy on Tuesday afternoons, but our father figures by Saturday morning. And honestly, I wouldn't trade a single moment of it. Boarding at Blackmore House has truly been one of the greatest experiences of my life. But I won't lie, at the start, it was tough. New country, new school, far from home, and suddenly surrounded by a bunch of boys who already knew each other, their routines, and exactly how everything worked. I remember thinking, what have I got myself into here? But what I found very quickly was something special. You take a group of boys from completely different backgrounds, cultures, and walks of life, throw them into one boarding house. Add a bit of chaos, a lot of noise, not much sleep, and somehow it just works. Not just works, it thrives. We don't just get along, we become brothers. And that's something you can't fake. It's built in the small moments, the jokes, the shared struggles, the random late night conversations, the times you back each other when it matters most. I can honestly say I've never met a better bunch of blokes in my life. The friendships I've made here are the kind that last forever. The kind where even if you don't speak for a while, nothing changes. Something that really stood out to me, especially being one of the few white boys in the PE, is that colour was never an issue. Not once. No one cared where you came from, how much money you had. What matters was who you are, how you treat people, and the respect you give. That's something powerful, and honestly, something the rest of the world could learn from. Durban High School is more than just a school. It's not just classrooms or rugby fields or traditions. It's a brotherhood. It's a place that builds character, resilience, and pride. It's a place that has challenged me, shaped me, and ultimately made me a better man. Before I finish, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you to the teachers for your patience, your guidance, and for pushing me to be better. The lessons you taught me go far beyond the classroom. To the staff and boarding masters, thank you for everything you do behind the scenes. The care, the discipline, and the support you give does not go unnoticed. You've helped create a place that truly feels like a second home. To the coaches, thank you for your time, your energy, and for believing in us. You pushed us when we needed it most, and shaped us not just as players, but as young men. And to the boys, my brothers, thank you. Thank you for the laughs, the memories, the support, and the loyalty. You made this experience what it is. I wouldn't be standing here as the same person without you. I'm truly grateful to each and every one of you. My blood is blue and my spirit is gold. And that means more to me and my family than I can truly put into words. Standing here now, looking around, after everything, I can honestly say, I don't want to leave. Thank you.
Should just use Basil's mic. Okay, thank you, boys. Thank you to the old boys and the guests for joining us. You're more than welcome to go outside to the dome and follow Lauren. There'll be tours for those of you who would like to go for a tour around the school. There's some tea and coffee downstairs, down the stairs, and some snacks as well. So old boys and guests, you're more than welcome to join us. Boys, you're going to stay right here. Old boys and guests, if you don't mind leaving first, please. Thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause, everybody. Okay, boys, so what's going to happen is we're going to still do team meetings. You'll still have lunch break and so on. So you're just going to be a little bit patient here. The 10 prefects that are assisting outside with the tours, if you don't mind, please first going outside and joining Mrs. Janssen van Rensburg. The boys sitting at the back, you're going to be having to help me a little bit as well, please, because we do have a function this afternoon. I'm going to need a little bit of hands to help us here as well.
I'm just trying to plan. Why don't we go? We're going to need half an hour for break. We should just go to walk around. We can't. 50 minutes. Yeah, I'll make a plan. All right, gents, thank you. So here's the plan, okay? We're going to go into team meetings now. From team meetings, you'll go to break. There will be 3 bells that will ring. I will ring them personally at 12:50. Those 3 bells means that you just go back, you fetch your bags, and you go down to the stands to war cry practice. We'll go straight from break to war cry practice, okay? And then you guys will leave, obviously, from war cry practice. So there's no period 5, no period 6. No. Just relax. Otherwise, I'll make you go. Okay? So break until 12:50, 3 bells at 12:50, and then we go to war cry.
Okay, boys. Right, so you're just going to help me a little bit here. Just so on the left-hand side of the field where the hedge is. And they had to clean the pool this morning, and they have backwashed. And when you backwash at the moment, there's only one way it can go. It goes towards the hedge, and it's filtered down onto that area. If I make you guys walk there, it's going to end up in a mud bath today. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a favor of you boys. So when the bell goes, Mr. Goodwin rings that final bell to go to war cry. I want everybody, no bags are to be here. Okay, after lunch break, all your bags must go away from here. I want all the boys' school bags to be on the stands. Do not walk onto the field by the hedge side. I want everybody to walk that way, okay, towards Bradshaw's and go that way. Okay, I have put up 2 extra stands. I have also moved the stands back another meter. There's plenty of space for everybody. Okay, there are a couple of boys absent because it's Eid and so on, so I think we'll be fine to fit there. All right, just on the last few things as well. Okay, we did all the talking yesterday. Okay, we've done everything. We've got everything out the way. What is our goal tomorrow? To make the main thing the main thing. Okay, forget about all the sideshows. Okay, we arrive on time. If you're struggling to get to your games, like I said, from hockey to rugby or rugby to hockey, you come and find me or find somebody so we can take you across to the right games. All the teams come out and support. Doesn't make a difference whether you're in the first side, the third side, the 14C. We get behind everybody tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Talking over. Matrix, I just want you to stay for a little bit. Okay. To help me with something that are boys that are sitting at the back. The hockey boys, under 14 and under 16 hockey boys. You're going to go to this door and you go up to the hockey Astra stands. Off you go. Matrix, just stay there for now. If they're in a hockey meeting, oh, sorry, boys, sorry, whoa, sorry. I've actually got carried away and I forgot something. Whoa, just come and sit down for 30 seconds. We actually have the time to do it. Sorry. Okay. So just to finish off with everything. Okay. We've had really good war cries. We've had good war cry practices this whole week. Okay. There was a great video by Tom Champion. Mr. Moritz has taken some time to do something really special for you boys. Okay. He's taken some footage from all over and he's created something just to set the tone for tomorrow. Okay. So, Mr. Moritz, Let's give him a big clap to say thank you from us. Okay, I'm going to get out the way. Okay, so just concentrate and take in the words, take in the pictures, take in the video.
Before us, there were boys who walked these same grounds, who wore these same colors, who believed in something greater than themselves. They built this school, not just with bricks and stone, but with courage, with pride, with an unbreakable brotherhood. For generations, this school has stood as a symbol of tradition and excellence, a place where young men are shaped, where character is forged, where ordinary boys discover the greatness within themselves. Because this school is more than lessons and exams. It is passion. Passion in the classroom, on the field, and at every moment we represent this school. Here we stand together, not as individuals, but as brothers, bound by tradition, driven by pride, connected by something that has lived here for over a century. Because inside every boy who walks through these gates lives a lion that refuses to give up, that stands tall when challenged, that roars for his school. Today, we honor those who came before us. We carry their legacy, and we build the future they believed in. Because this is our school. This is our brotherhood, and the lion within us will continue to roar.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Maritz, for that. We really appreciate that. So I hope that sets the tone. Just while I was thinking there, guys, last thing, just tomorrow, just a word of advice. Word of advice. The first time you have a shorty, don't try anything fancy.